and our runners are off. Now, the first thing we do after this little chat between our intrepid Imperials are go into our menu and swap to Battle Speed 6 and Mission Speed 1 and switch our memory cursors over the memory. The reason we do this is because at Battle Speed 6, the enemies are very, very slow, and it gives us enough time to react. If it was at 1, they would be taking extra turns, and this means increased difficulty. Now, we see at our runners that they have just entered into battle and had Vixen and Wedge run away. This is because we are experienced routing and taking this to out our imperative to increase our unknown characters' levels to level 5. We also saw that we went subdiverted a little bit there to avoid a flag. So this flag prevents us from getting into 2 extra battles. And now this next battle we are in, Vix and Wedge are going to do everything they can to get rid of one side of the pincer and a Lobo. The Lobo has no run flag. That flag prevents us from running away. And once the Lobo is gone, that flag disappears. And so, there is at least one more battle we have to fight before we get to into the mines, and from there, everything should be good for our next section. Now these mammoths have a special quality to them. They're like the Lobos. They have a no-run flag, so our intrepid Imperial officers must destroy them first before our unknown person can go after them. And once those two, the last 2 guards, once they're cleared from the board, we'll have Vix and Wedge run away, and our unknown character will be at level 5. Level 5 is optimal for what we need to be done in our upcoming next fight. So far, both of them pretty well as far getting their running away, and Riku's entering the mines now, and as you can see, he has not gotten any encounters. This means he is on step route. And so he will be initiating the walk fight very shortly. Sawney has also not gotten any encounters, meaning he's also on step route. Step routing is important for this part of the run, which I will explain for later. Now, with the dialogue right now, we can just hold A to the stream off. In battles, you can hold A, and the dialogue will just go. He also got very good ATB. But looks like he might have to do an extra bit of weight tracking. I'm unsure. Sawney getting his first protect missile off and getting his second. And Riku has gotten the quick kill. Sawney unfortunately did not, and the monster has gone back into the shell. The shell has its own separate ATB. And once it fills up, the head will pull back in the shell, and we have to go and wait for it to come out. Riku's didn't get slimered. Well, Sawney did. It wasn't the end of the world since it wasn't on our unknown character. Now, Riku's about to meet our friend in the ice, who doesn't want to talk to Wedge or Fix. He just wants to talk to our unknown character. So he just tells you to take a hike and just sends him off to who knows where. So let's talk more about the story. This unknown character is now in bed, and we are going to learn something about her very shortly here. It seems that she had some kind of crown on her head that kind of messed with her mind, may have possibly robbed her of her memories, and the Empire was using her as a puppet. So what do you think her name is, guys? Seems like we have an A from Riku. And so, we come to learn that the people of Narshe who are neutral-minded and don't want to get involved with the Empire are looking for this character of ours. And this person who seems to be helping A, or T, if for other people, wants to help her get away. So, we are going to skit her out of the house and towards the mines again. Now, while we're in the mines, we will be looking to fight every encounter we come into cross with, and we'll be using the fire magic. We do this because we need to get Terra, or A or T, up to level 6. This will ensure us getting our next spell, Antidote, which will be useful later down the road. It also makes sure that a certain character that we will be getting actually is a little bit stronger than we originally thought about. So he'll come in at level 7. We seem to be multi-target, but it's the Chinhurma just might make him lose a little bit of time. Now, we want to ignore these treasure boxes. They're not important, because we get these treasure boxes, we'll be off step route. It also should be noted that the Repo Men have a little bit of a chance to do a death counter to us by throwing those wrenches. It's not, I think it's like a 75% chance at the time. I'll have to look that up for later. Riku is now a few steps away from the flag that sets us off to the next part of the story. This is the best place right now to level up. He also has a back attack, while Sawney has a pincer attack. Back attacks, of course, are known to swap rows, while pincers makes it so we take extra damage from one side or the other. They can be very nasty, and we'll talk about them later down the road as well. Now Riku looks like he's gotten his level and is on his way to the next part of the game. And now we learn about who put the slave crown on our friend A's head, or T later down the road for someone else. Basically, it's our main villain, Kefka, who seems to be, how should we say, a bit deranged. And we see that he has her roasting some soldiers here in some kind of Magitech armor. Now, it should be noted that the Magitech armor is a status element, one that the game forces upon you, and it's the only way that we can have Kefka show up in this part of the game with it, since he is suddenly classified as party member in that cutscene. And Sawney is now heading into this cutscene as well. Okay, we see here that Riku has just named somebody L. Yeah, this guy is our treasure hunter. He's not a thief. Let's keep that in mind. He is treasure hunter. That's pure and simple. Now, we come upon this encounter with the Moggles. This special combat feature is something that will come back down the road, multi-parties. And with this, we get to defend Terra while controlling 3 different groups. We are controlling a special party at the moment for Mog, who is imperative for our, for stuff. Okay, Riku seems to have hesitated and did not move about trying to avoid encounters with the monsters on screen by moving around when they were moving. Exactly. When the lights are out, you can move about yourself. Okay. This fight we have here, we take away Mog's equipment, and that's it on the second round. We normally take out the Lobos with Coupon and Takuku and Kutan, while Coupon and Mog fight the Marshal. Now the Marshal has a very nasty move called Net, which, if we're unlucky, can stop us, and if it's on Mog, we will not be able to take away his equipment at all. So, let's hope none of these runners have that happen to them. Riku is down on Riku's side, but he gets to do this without much hassle. And Sawney got into the first encounter in the little maze. He's using L's group for this, it seems. Now, of course, the 2 monsters he encountered are not runnable at all either. Oh, he got caught in an attack there. That's why. Okay. Riku has finally gotten out of the mines almost, and Terra, or A for him, is just waking up, and Locke talks to her, or L talks to her, and basically explains that she does not remember anything, and he says he'll protect her. Okay, here we come with Sawney fighting the Marshal and the Lobos. He's grabbing the pike from Mog only, it looks like. Now, since Riku is step routing, he's walking down the map in a precise way. As you go down the map, there are certain places where the step counter won't tick. Thus, we will not get an encounter on those spots. And this map has at least a few of them as we're going about. Now, this should be the last encounter, hopefully, I believe, until we get to the castle, which is close by. Now, Big Rock Castle is more of a heavy cutscene movement area and cutscene central, so we'll be here for about roughly 9 minutes dealing with talking, moving, more talking, and just randomly more talking. And so here we come out to the king, who I may not been told has been kind of lecherous, let's say. Now what is the name of this king, I wonder? E. We have King E here. Sonny's just exiting Narshe and heading to our current location in Figaro now. Now, since E is gone, we are free to travel about the castle and talk to whom we wish or explore where we want. So, first thing we're going to do is head left here, head down these stairs, and go towards, and head left some more after we get out of this room. This is to make sure we can talk to a certain woman to further the story along. This woman will tell us the tale of a very important person we'll meet as well, who happens to be the king's twin brother or younger brother or what have you. So I'm just getting to King E himself now, and our brother is named S. Now, from this point we are going to travel some more and do more exploring and talk to more people. It seems, or are we just going? Or maybe we'll be doing something else. Who knows? So we're heading back towards the throne room, dodging the Chancellor, and returning to talk to King E. Now, it should be said that you can hold A here and just go up to the king and it will just start the text box itself. Here, we see our favorite little villain, Kefka, coming to inspect the place. He doesn't seem very happy to be on recon duty, now does he? Now here, we have to talk to most Imperial soldiers in order to continue to talk to Kefka. After we talk to Kefka, we get into this cutscene about him looking for a girl who doesn't seem to have any consequence, who might be a witch who stole something of them minor value. But really, to Edgar, King E, it doesn't matter, because there's too many girls to count here, because it's more than sand. So, here, after this, we talk to Locke, and Edgar wants him to take A to her room in order to hide her for the time being. So we can get ahead of Locke in the first spot, in the first area outside, but the second, not so much luck. So we just go to this room we're told to go to, and we get to talk to L, and A wants to know if Locke's a thief. Well, he corrects her saying he's a treasure hunter. But don't forget, folks, he's a treasure hunter! He's not a thief! When do we ever see him thieving? Really? Sawney has just gotten into starting his little chat with Kefka himself. And now, as we continue on with our story, something seems to be wrong. As, Edgar seems to be coming out of some slumber here. He seems to come out of some slumber. The castle, for some odd reason, which is made of stone, is now on fire. And we don't know how this comes about, but we see that Kefka is involved. Now, we don't have to talk to Kefka to advance the story. The soldier at the top near the door is our trigger, so we just go up to him, pick at Kefka, and just move on. We're about to enter into another fight, but first we have to escape from our plight, and maybe watch something important happen here. Now, the miracle of technology, it seems that Figaro is able to become a submarine of sorts and dig into the desert. And so, Figaro disappears for good under the sands. Kefka sends these two magic armors after us. Now this battle is relatively simple, since we don't want to cast that magic on these guys, since that will launch into a 40-second cutscene. We want to instead use Edgar's crossbow. Our crossbow will give us the necessary damage to fight through the rest of this part of the game with ease. It's pretty much the best tactic to use for killing. As you can see, it's pretty simple. So now, these guys flee and leave Kefka in the desert to wallow, pretty much for now. A is now scared because of what just happened, and these two want to bring them to their mentor, someone named Bannon, and they want to ask her for her help in aiding their cause that goes by the name of the Returners. There's some kind of group, we don't exactly know what they are quite yet, and these two aren't explaining very well. Now this upcoming cave, it should be noted that we still can't use magic in here. For this, we'll set off that magic cutscene again. Still, and this cutscene will not go away. This flag port will not go away until after this cave. Basically, while we're also in this cave, we want to fight almost anything in here except for the group of 2 hornets. This is to give us some extra EXP during our run to make sure we get to the proper levels we need when you get to the next big mountain area. And we also, if we get them up to a group of Delirious in it, it's possible that we may not take them out. So we queue up attacks with A and L just in case. there's the 200 group for Riku. It should be noted that since we're running away right now, each character has their own bar for running away. Locks or else being the shortest bar since he is a treasure hunter. Others have longer bars, and we'll see someone who's a very long bar later. Now, we took very precise steps on our way to this town. That's because, once again, there are 3 spots on the map where we did not take damage. I mean, not take damage, we can't get encounters. Now, since we're here in Figura, we want to get these sprint shoes. These sprint shoes let us go fast. And we want to equip these to A, since she is the one that needs these the most, and it will make it easier for us to move about. We also want to change up our party members to the back row. Being in the back row means we take less damage, and we dish up more damage. But we kind of want that for now. Also, we want going to take this chocobo, but we just rode a chocobo before. Why do we need this explanation? This guy must be very lonely if he just wants to tell us what to do with it. Anyways, Sonya's getting to the cave now, and Riku is just getting to Mount Cults. Now, the encounters inside the mountain are pretty hard sometimes, and we want to avoid fighting the brawlers. The brawlers take 2 shots with the all-out crossbows, and we don't have time for that, now do we? Now, it looks like we may be going out of the way here, but that doesn't mean we are. We are actually here for a Atlas Armlet. This Atlas Armlet allows us to actually do more physical damage than we normally could, and just run this on E for his damage output with the all crossbow. And you see, with Riku, he ran into some Tuskers there. The Tuskers can be very nasty in those pack of 2s, and we can't exactly take them out with just the other crossbow. We need some fire magic involved in there as well, but sometimes we don't want to take those out. Sometimes we just want to focus on the packs outside of the mountain. Now, outside the mountain, we will get certain encounters. Like these Caspiran and, of course, a set of monsters that have poison to them. This is why we want an antidote. It also should be said that the Tuskers are also involved in these packs, but the Tuskers there's only one of them, and they're easier to kill as well. Sawny also getting a Trillion pack, which is a pack that gives us poison. Sawny going down, subdiverting for a tent. Must be for safety. Now Riku's entered the last part of the mountain. It also should be said that, which I forgot to mention, that Riku is experience routing here. We want to get each of our characters to a certain level. We want E at 10, L at 9, and A at 8. This means we also might be having L run away from one battle as well. And Sawny with a pincer attack. Because of the way the pincer attacks work, he is stuck having to take out one side or focus on the other. We can't do both sides now. Now, as we spiral around this entire mountainside area, we'll be heading into something very shortly. This person will be important for something in a few moments, so hold on. Looks like Riku is going to have to take some extra counters since L's not up to level 9 yet. There's only some time to catch up as well. L has gotten that level, but you still need to get A up one level as well. Sawny is also missing the necessary levels to move on. We're doing this experience routing to get S up to level 11. It should be noted. And alright, Riku is now entering into the Vargas fight. This fight you will see very shortly is rather interesting. We have to fight the two Ipus first. And we need to auto crossbow them and set one of them on fire in order to beat one of them. And you also want to, here at some point, once the other Ipo is defeated, to swap over our equipment if we have time. Which we probably will. You also notice that he pushed Locke into the front row. This is to make sure he can deal extra damage to Vargas. You already did the change, I think. Now we just want to use all the crossbow, attacking and fires as we can to take Vargas down a certain amount. Because once you take Vargas down a certain amount, something will happen. And here we have it. We have S show up to come help us out during this fight. And Vargas seems to be a bit upset over something about succession or whatnot, and he's a bit salty over it, because he thinks he's been snubbed, when he really hasn't. So, he decides to blow everyone else away, except for us, it seems. And Sawney is entering the fight now with Vargas and the iPos as well. Now, Vargas seems like a tough opponent, doesn't he? Well, we just simply have to use our blitz. Left, right, left. And that will pretty much just take him out for good. He's shocked that we actually know this technique as well. So, now with him gone, we can just get on with our lives. We don't even remember him. And so, there's also something else to talk about with blitzes. If you go down and press A really fast, you could make an incorrect blitz input, and thus screw up your entire move. Now, as we exit, we seem to be getting a very different enemy pack here from Riku's side. We've got Vaporites, which we haven't seen since the mines. This is a rare enemy encounter in this part. So, as we exit, we are again on the world map, and there are once again spaces that we take to avoid random encounters on. So Riku is about to enter into our next area in a few moments. It is the Returner's hideout. Now, it should be said that there's a possibility, if you don't safety save, you could soft lock in this area because a certain NPC can get in your way and cause you to soft lock. But on Riku's side, it doesn't happen. He's perfectly in the clear. And so, we come to talk to this Bannon guy. I don't know what his deal is. But he seems to want to talk to her about the Esper and Narshe. He says she took out 50 soldiers, which he doesn't remember. And then he comes off to talk about a story. Something about a box. Something about all this envy, greed, and pride stuff. We don't understand that word of this. He's just trying to manipulate us, and considering how much he does, he's so tired he just wants to go and rest. So, we all go decide to rest, and since we're back in this hideout, in this bed, we decide to talk to everyone in our team. Now, after talking to Edgar next, or E, we have to talk to S. And after we talk to S, we can go outside, talk to, I think it's that old guy again who is trying to talk to us about stuff before? Alright. We also need to raid the treasury here and pick up a few important objects to help us down the road. Now, since we're talking to this guy, he wants us to make a decision about helping them. We just hold down and press A for no. We don't want to help him. Why should we help him? He's just going to use us, right? Well, this also gives us access to a very powerful relic, called the Genji Gloves, which we'll get here in a few moments. This also allows us to skip a lengthy 40-second to a minute cutscene. And if you said yes, we get a broken, not so good relic called the Gauntlet, which allows us to only use one weapon in two hands. While the Genji Gloves is broken in the correct way and allows us to use two weapons in each one hand. So we're about to split up here, and Empire has taken South Figaro, and so L seems to want to go and go deal with that. So we're about to go on a little trip here down a interesting little river. Now, in order to continue with the step route, we have to save here beforehand, but also equip Edgar with the Genji Gloves and stab him with a set of sprint shoes, while moving everyone to the back row as well. In order to manipulate the river, we have to reset the game. Resetting the game resets our seed, and if everything goes right, we should be able to get only 2 encounters on the river before we encounter what's coming next. It also means we have to wait for this guard to get up on the carpet, or the wooden planks, or whatever. And with that done, the river is successfully manipulated. I'm sorry. Now, right now we want to run from this encounter. The next encounter should be 2 pterodactyls, which Riku accidentally hits right, sending him on a wider course. It doesn't look like he got the encounters. He didn't get the encounters he wanted. The reason we wanted the other encounter was because it would help us get E to keep to level 11. Which will help us out later down the road for everyone else's experience routing that comes to our party. Now we come to one of the first 2 rest stops. We can move people to the back row, move people to the front row, or heal up. But we're just going to continue on our way. Sawney is just getting done with the Returner's hideout, and speaking to everyone and getting the Genji Glove. Here we have to go. Looks like Riku went up and around maybe for an extra encounter. I'm not sure, but it's not the end of the world. Basically the river has to go left twice in order to advance. So, Riku changes Edgar to the front row to deal extra damage, to do damage to our next big encounter. Also should be noted that if Bannon croaks here, it's game over. We have to. We're gonna have to go to it should be game over, and we'd have to start from a save point. So here we are. We are at Uncle Alti, everyone's favorite octopus. Now, Ultras can be rather difficult, and he's highly scripted. We want to fight with King E. We want to blitz with Sabin with Aura Bolt, which is basically down, left, or down, left, depending on how you want to do it. Now, Ultra's script is very peculiar. With fire, he'll just counter Terra with a tentacle, and that can deal massive damage. But he also has another script coming up with his delicious morsel, I'll get my bib line. Now, if Riku does it right, he'd be able to manipulate it so that line never comes up. He may have gotten it too. That's sure. He may have missed it. Finally getting into his Paradigm fight here. And Riku is through Ultras. Now we come into know one of these little chat boxes in the battles, which you can just hold A through. And we are about to head into what will become known, or is known as, the scenario section of the game. The scenario section of the game basically has us choosing from 3 separate parts, and we normally go with 7 first. This is because, while it's also the longest, it bears the most fruit for items that we need for the other scenarios. So everything we've done so far has gotten us to what we need to do for this one point. Now, here we have our next temporary companion named I believe Shadow. Now, I haven't mentioned this before, but the reason why we take down the names to 1 letter is because the screen text scrolls across the screen 1 letter at a time. But by renaming everyone to 1 letter, we save frames. For Shadow, he only has 3 text boxes throughout the entire adventure, so we're never going to really get much out of him. So it's easier and faster to not rename him. We also want to run away from all these battles as well, because there's always a chance that Shadow could run away from us permanently if we, at the end of a battle, we complete. And Sawny just lost Terra on his side. Oh, Sawny didn't equip the relic Genji Glove. Gonna have a little bit more trouble. Oh, and there's Interceptor on Riku's side. Interceptor has a small chance of coming to battle every time Shadow takes damage. And here we come to some of the major cutscenes of the game with this one camp. Sawny is through Ultras now, and he'll soon be starting Sabin scenario. Now, here we have Kefka again. He's really a busy guy, isn't he? Okay, the Imperials here are now attacking this castle in force. Now, why they're attacking the castle is, well, they seem to think that the returners are siding with them or something. Are they? Aren't they? We don't know, but it seems that whatever they're thinking that the country's doomed, but somebody might think something else. Here we have probably one of our more older party members with a mustache. C, as his name is. C also has a very important skill, which we will see here in a moment. Also, at this point, we are going to give him sprint shoes and change the battle configuration to 1. We want this battle to go fast, so in order to do that, the enemies have to be going fast, so we can just get this out of the way. This also helps us to make sure that we tore it off in a manner that allows us to end the battle within seconds. A tort is one of those skills that just automatically activates after you put it on. It's a great skill, it's powerful, and it comes in handy quite often. So Riku got the black belt, it seems, which is a 5/8, no, not 5/8 chance. I don't know the exact odds on that, so I'm sorry about that. Now we're back in control in the camp, and we meet for the first and probably last time in this run, General Leo, one of the best characters in the game. Nothing's gonna happen to him, right? We know we only see him this time, so nothing can happen. Sony coming up to the leader fight now. And so, with Riku, he's just entering the second flag cutscene involving General Leo and now Kefka. Kefka seems to be scheming something, doesn't he? Now, whatever Kefka is planning, we decide to confront him. And during this cutscene, while everything is happening, Kefka's in our party, and this doesn't affect the battle speed at all. This is why we keep it at 1 at this point. We have to fight him not once, but twice. So after this next cutscene, after this next battle, we will change back our speed to 6. Sonny is through the leader fight as well now, and he seems to be picking up some time. Now here we're just going to remove everything from Shadow except for his Imperial. We want this equipment for 7. And it actually works, because Shadow's only temporary, it works better for 7. And we want to change our speed, like I said, back to 6. Now this next fight is basically Templars and soldiers. We want to blitz them and throw stuff at the back ones, while the front ones we just want to attack normally. Unfortunately, no intercepting extra damage, and we throw the Air Lancet to destroy the last Templar, and it does get a counter, but it doesn't matter since the fight was over. Now what is this Kefka's pouring into the water? It looks like some purple drink of some sort. But it can't be anything good at all, is it? It seems whatever Kefka put into the water seems to be making our soldiers violently ill, maybe even having them take naps, or even worse. We can't really tell at this point now, can we? No. While we only have short control of 7 for this next part, it's easier to just put the sprint shoes onto him to go faster, to cut some time off. And now we are coming to see the liege of this realm. The king, unfortunately, also drank the water, which seems to be disagreeing with him greatly. And Sawney just entering that Templar soldier fight himself. Now, the king just told us to go check on our family, so that's what we're doing. But even as we walk in, we see the worst. It seems they also drink the water. So instead of going to complain to the Imperials like a normal person, something's going to happen here. Very shortly that you'll see. That's right, Cyan flies into a blind rage and starts wanting to demand answers. And starts fighting. Now, it should be noted here that you can talk to Cyan from the back or the side, but you can't talk to him from the front. The front will force you out and give you damage. So, these fights is relatively this first fight is relatively simple. There's no, you just have to hope that Cyan or C will not use dispatch, because that wastes time. Fortunately, Riku got a dispatch, but that's not the end of the world. So we got through this second fight, and we were about to head into our third fight. This third fight, it's a little tougher, because we have a cadet with us, and they have more HP. And so Riku gets through this with very little effort, and we are now going on to the next phase of this camp. Now here we have some Magitech armor. As I said earlier, this is actually a status effect the game inflicts upon us, so sit back and enjoy the ride in the sleek machinery vehicle that we have for the time being. Now we're about to encounter one of 3 battles. Basically, all we have to do is hold A use the fire beam, and we'll win or just win. We could be organizing his inventory there a little bit. Now we have a fight of 3. And this can also be said to be this can be a preemptive at some points, or it can be a back attack sometimes as well. We could with that ice beam, it seems, and a bolt beam as well. Sawney just exiting the second of the 3 fights with Cyan in a rage. Now we get the third attack with Riku in the Magitech armors, and it's a side attack for him, so it's very lucky. Now, since we're getting out of there, we are going to the forest to escape from the Imperials. Seems like Sonic did not re-equip Shadow with his Imperial. That's gonna make for a tougher fight. Now, entering the forest, should be noted that we have 4 different enemy packs here. The one enemy pack we do not want is a pack of 5, the Ghost and the Halpleons. These packs, Ghosts can use fire on you, which can hurt. The Halpleons, I'm not gonna say the names right, the Halpleons can use either a slow ability on you, or they can set on you a stop ability, which will render you stopped for a little while. Riku gets that through there with 2 encounters, and we are now at some kind of train. A very odd train that shouldn't be here, should it? But it is. Regardless, our intrepid trio will still get on board and see what's going on. Now, we find out that we are on this Phantom train. A train that takes people to the other side. But we don't want to go there, so we're just going to try to find who's in charge and get him to stop this thing. While separating, we would not want to. We would just wait for these guys to move out of the way. We wouldn't want to move, but instead Riku looks like he's gonna move, and he has gotten the encounter here early. It looks like Sonny is just finishing up the Imperial camp. Now we come into this car, and we have to fight this one encounter to get out. But we don't actually have to fight. We can just run away. Need some extra roasty toasty time from the ghosts, but he still gets out of there relatively fast. Now we come into this shortcut scene where the ghosts say we can't escape, there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. Well, we're going to defy their expectations now, won't we? We are going up this ladder, and well, let's just see what happens, shall we? Ooh, a bomb encounter. Riku did get away from it unscathed. The bombs have a very nasty attack, which I'll explain about later. Here we just see Seven deciding to put his training to use. Deciding that he's just going to carry everyone else, he's just decides to run and jump across the train cars, and he has one bad footing and he falls down here. Now we hit the switch, which, for some odd reason, decouples the car in the back of us, and whatever happens to these train cars, we would never know. It doesn't matter. They can't follow. But the switch also seems to open up the way forward to the next part of the train. And we have Sony also on the train, getting a back attack from the still goings. Ooh, weak with the ghost clip there. Nice. Now, we're coming up to the back of the dining car. We are here for the earrings. Earrings help us give Cyan some extra battle damage in the form of magic. To the magic attack. 7's blitzes are a combination of physical and magical attacks. So those will help him greatly for later down the road. Riku gained 2 more bomb encounters, but he's gotten very lucky he hasn't encountered that blaze attack. Blaze attack fortunately has the ability to drop your party relatively quickly. It does over 150 damage per person on all party attack. Sawney is just getting into his no escape and getting on the roof section of the game. Now here is Riku fighting the Phantom Train. Now will he suplex or will he just go for the automatic Phoenix down? And he suplexes the train! And since the Phantom Train is undead, you can just use the Phoenix down just to kill it. Easy peasy every single time. Now, since we're getting let off, Phantom Train wanted to make another stop. But unfortunately, that stop seems to have been, to pick up some certain people that were very important to Cyan. Seems his wife and kid are getting on that train. And he doesn't like that, apparently. Funny with the 3-pack of bombs, that can be very, very dangerous. But he gets to do it very, very easily. Now, Cyan here is trying to stop the train to get his wife and kid back. But unfortunately, the train is already taking off. And so, Cyan here is just left to wallow in his despair, seeing his family disappear in front of his eyes. Since we have control of Sabin again, we are going to do a little bit of inventory management. We are going to put the earrings and the True Knight on in order to do something later down the road. We're also going to set our potions on the cursor, and as well put our cursor on the equipment. And so, the entire event is scripted. I missed if Sawney... Did Sawney do, the suplex, or did you just go straight for the Phoenix down? Now, getting the normally on Step Route, we would not be getting an encounter outside the forest, but Riku has gone off step count a little bit and is no longer there, so we got the encounter. 2 encounters to be, in fact. You should be fine though. Now, we're losing Shadow, pretty much. But Shadow was only there for a short time, and he didn't really matter, so we're just back to the 2 of us. Now, we are here to de-equip Cyan in order to do our next little trick, which is we are about to fight some nasty little fishies in this great big waterfall. Now, with Cyan's armaments discarded for the time being, we can just smack him and he'll take extra damage because we want him to die. The reason we want him to die is because we want to bring him back to use a little glitch. This glitch will allow us to have Cyan go a little bit nuts and use his retort when Sabin or S uses a physical attack. But since the game gets confused at this point because it doesn't know what to do, because Cyan's combat ability is kind of magical, so it gets all crazy. It decides to just take out the piranha and ends the battle there. And so with that battle ended, we are going to meet someone new here very shortly. And Sawney is about to start his journey up to the falls. Now here's our new party member, Gao, but he'll just be known as G. You might think it's easier just to keep his name as 3 letters. Well, his name shows up so much in the texts that it's easier just to rename him. But for now, he runs off, so after a bit of maintenance, and we have to get to the town of Moblis. And here we enter a special mechanic in the game. We are looking for Gao after every time in the Veld, I'm sorry, there's a chance that after a battle, Gao can show up. It's a 5/8 chance, but right now we don't want Gao. Gao would just be a hindrance and a time loss. And in order to really get him in our party, we need dried meat. So we come to this town, and we decide to grab 1 unit of dried meat. And so we go back out and decide to try to find our little funky new friend. Now, Gao will not show up on a pincer attack, a back attack, if your party has a status ailment, or if anyone's dead. Like right now, we're on a pincer attack and he won't show up. It's also faster to kill the monsters instead of running away at this point. And we have Gao for Riku. Very lucky they got him this soon. Now there can be some issues that happen here, like you could throw the meat at yourself, you could accidentally attack Gao, stuff like that. But thankfully this didn't happen. Now we enter what is the longest text box scene in this run. So sit back, relax, and we'll just all day. Sonny's just starting his journey to Moblis now. So Gao wants to. Gao is just going to go back and forth dancing and saying thou, thou, and then say something else about giving us something. Maybe it's in the cave. We don't exactly know quite yet. You said something's very shiny. Can anything be that shiny? Well, we're probably gonna find out here soon enough. And, Sawneyrath had his first encounter with Gao out on the Veld. Considering that he didn't have to meet, it's unfortunate, and he might not get lucky you might not get lucky for a while if things don't go his way. Oh, here's our Kappa friend! would you guys mind putting some Kappas in chat for this? I'm sure this little guy would appreciate it. This also explains to us the basic abilities of Gao, but we're not gonna need that, are we? Since we're not gonna stick around to get any more commands. We already have what we need. Now, with getting Gao, we're just going to go to Mount Crescent and find Shiny. Now we're about to embark on fighting this little shiny, and maybe go into another area here soon. It seems the shiny is a diving helmet of some kind. How a three-man team can use one diving helmet is beyond me, but it seems that we are able to use it. Now we're about to enter the Serpent's Trench. Oh, and Sonny has just gotten Gao to show up. Very lucky on his end. Now, the Serpent's Trench can be a bit treacherous. It's got some nasty creatures in it. We want to run away from them. One of them can do some nasty counters to us. And if we get a one pack of a particular monster, we just want to kill that one right off the bat. No messing around. So as you can see, Riku was able to get away very quickly from that one. So, yes, it should be only 3 more packs if he's lucky. And we want to go left first on these routes and right. This is because this is the safer, faster path. And it should be noted that Sand has the longest run gauge in the game, which can be demonstrated right there on Riku's side, but he got away very safely. So we come to this first cave, which we just run through, and we go on our merry way. Ooh, it's pincer attack. We want to, for this purpose, we want to kill at least one side if we can, to just get out of here. but it might be quicker just to kill everything. Oh, we just got Kappa on Sawney's side, so maybe another Kappa, please? In chat? Ooh, 7 getting stopped. Ooh, this could be a bit dicey. And there goes 7, but maybe we'll get lucky and get through this without any trouble. And Riku makes it through the Serpent's Trench. A bit battered, a bit bruised, but still alive. And Sawney just himself getting his diving helmet now. And about to enter the trench. Now we're in this new town, and well, we want to do a little shopping. We wouldn't want to do a little shopping after a harrowing journey like that. Now, Riku here is going to buy 1 Mythal Pike. And he's going to buy a set of smoke bombs, hopefully. Which he does. 20 of them to be, in fact. These smoke bombs will help us in Locke's scenario and with the rest of Terra's scenario as well. For running away and all. So with our shopping done, it's time to get out of here and go back to South Figo and Narshe. That done, we are going to start on Locke scenario, which is by far the shortest one of our little trips. Now we want to equip sprint shoes, and it seems Riku does not move his L down, so here we want to clip through the guard, but we have to be in an exact spot with him being in an exact location in order to do that, and it does take some practice to do. It's not an easy thing, I will admit that. And Riku's got it. Now, going through this cave, we may see changing enemies, and we want to get out here as fast as we can, so we're just going to smoke bomb our way out. We are looking not just for a way out, but we're also looking for a item in here. And Riku does move Locke down to the second slot. This is a precautionary measure. Basically, if we get into a pincer attack, we will be faced with a gold bear. During the pincer attacks, the second slot will face towards the bear, not away. So we will take reduced damage anyways. And as I say that, we get into that pincer attack! So here we have a Thunder Rod. Rods in this game are broken. And as you can imagine, they are useful for breaking through enemy defenses and piercing them. They can do a lot more damage than a normal spell could. Sawney is now entering his lock scenario. Now, who's Locke talking to? He doesn't see anyone. Maybe he's talking to himself. But we use the Thunder Rod to take out tunnel armor, and it's gone in one shot. And Sonny is through the guard clip, and Riku is now heading off onto the third scenario, which is our river group. Now, if things go well, we should only have 2 encounters here. See Sonny's running away. Probably didn't catch it, but did he buy smoke bombs? Now, Riku is coming to the back door of our little mine here. This is the way we came out originally with Locke. So we're entering back through it. Now, the enemy groups aren't going to be that much different, except for maybe a one monster called a First Class, but that's not going to matter at this point. So Riku is about halfway done or so with getting back to our friend here in Narshe. Sawney is just getting to thunder rodding, gets hit by smoke bombs, and so he is through tunnel armor. Now here's a security checkpoint. Basically, they want us to follow the light. Well, we're gonna say, no, let's not follow the light, you can't control tell me what to do. And we're just going to follow part of it, then from there we are going to just decide to go off the path and try to play tag with the light. We're not even going to bother trying to do anything, we're just going to hold A and go from there. And Riku does not seem to have done that. It's unfortunate, but he can still do it. So while we may have failed, we have another chance to do this. And Sonny is about, is entering the mines now. Riku has gone through the security checkpoint, and we are going through the mines further. Also, we noted that smoke bombing is a mite faster than just running away as well. Looks like Sonny got turned around a little bit. So Riku's through, and we are about to talk to our friend Arvis from before. And we're about to enter another cutscene heavy area of the game. Now, we're just gonna talk to this old man in charge of Narshe and get berated for our actions, and we're trying to get Narshe to do something they don't want. But really, in the end, everything gets a little more complicated, and we'll talk about some ancient war that we never got really introduced to. And now we have Sabin back, and the Elder doesn't seem to really care about what happened to this guy's homeland. And we have El returning. But what's this? Some Mogul with us? Named Kutan? Who seems to be a general in the Empire's army? When did we pick this character up? I don't remember this character. But I guess, we got her now. It should be noted that since Kutan is a special case character, we did not pick up the character that we were originally supposed to pick up. So, this character is actually in the slot with where Celeste is supposed to be. And because of that, we don't get Celeste, we won't overwrite this character's data. Kutan is weak, we can't change the equipment, so Kutan is virtually useless. And it appears the Empire has violated neutrality with Narshe, and they are about to attack. What are we going to do now? Now we're just gonna march on through Narshe and head towards the snowfields above town. So here we go. And Sawney is just entering into his own cutscene, long haul. Now, we're about to enter another of our 3 party battle party things. Here we want to have our strongest battle party, which is E, C, S, and G. They have the most success to fighting Kefka. And we have them in the second slot because we can just march right down where the opening is, and we don't have to waste any time. Now, we can just march right down, and if Riku's quick, we can just get into this little divot here and bypass all these soldiers. We also have to go down around and also avoid the next wave of soldiers. Let's hope Riku is able to avoid this next... Ooh, the rider eats up about 30 seconds and has the ability to one-shot a character if he uses his silver pike ability. So far, I just use that ability to strike at send someone back to the back row. And Rider is down. With no one down as well, we can just cure up and run to Kefka. Now, if everything goes according to plan, we can stop Kefka from getting a second turn by weight maneuvering, as we did before with the Welk. And you might have gotten it. Now, Kefka has a chance on a second attack to use poison. That won't right out kill us. If he gets his third turn, he might use Ice 2 on the whole party, just one person. If he uses it on the whole party, it could mean a whole party wipe. If he uses it on one person, then that might be this wipe one person off the map. But here's hope. Oh, it uses Bolt, which is actually the better. And there he goes. And Riku has an SRL time finish of 1 hour, 39 minutes, and 7 seconds. And Sonny is now getting into his, almost to his Kefka fight himself. And he avoids the rider.
I'm in here for a quick interview.
Oh, hello, Riku.
Hello.
So, what'd you think of that? What'd you think of the run?
Terrible. It was actually a really bad run, but I PB'd. That's what matters.
Yes, indeed. That doesn't matter. That does matter entirely.
Everything was gold except for Kefka because I screwed up a lot near the. I had fought the rider for the first time ever. First off, that was something new.
You got very lucky on that rider too.
I was just like, how do I fight the rider? I don't know how to fight him. This is scary. So I was just like, well, I'll just use Kefka strats, I guess. And it kind of worked out in my favor that way. Yeah, I'm sad to have to disappoint Angry Larry now, because he was looking to get me in round 2. Called me out and everything. Not gonna get that chance though. But yeah, I definitely need to practice more before I go into the next stage now, since I know I got the lowest time of the winners, I think, right now. So a lot of practice will be happening over the next week.
I'm sure it will. Let's watch the rest of Sonny's fight here. It doesn't seem to be going well at all. well, with the not forfeit, with with Sawney dying and wiping the Kefka, he's going to give it another shot. Okay, he's opening strong this turnaround. Hopefully he can do it. Guy goes down. And we have an official SRL time for Sawney of 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 20 seconds. What a race we had, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. So, I guess I should hand this over to Scratch Dragon if he wants to say any last words or anything, or wait for Sawney to come in for a,
Looks like
interview?
Sawney has joined us. Hey, Sawney.
Yo.
Hey. So, what'd you think of that run?
Well, I wasn't expecting to see Bolt. I know he has it. I knew he had it in his spell list, but when he bolted me with my party's HP being as low as it was, I knew that fight was going to be a wipe.
It's unusual to see Bolt in these matches as of late. We haven't seen Bolt that often. It's not really spell that used either by Kefka that in such a degree either.
If I remember,
I got full bolt 2 on my party as well.
oh gosh. I'm just glad I got the Rizapa skip because I had been practicing that beforehand and for some reason couldn't nail it, so at least that went well.
Is there anything else you want to talk about that went wrong in this run for you, Sonny?
I mean, other than it being my first run of the category, I think overall wasn't too bad. I know there are places that I could better my movement, like I forgot where to go in South Figaro Cave, but otherwise I should be okay.
Alright, Scratch Rig, I think you're okay to close us out for the night.